Well, well, well. We have returned. And one of the most mystifying things that I'm finding in this day and age is that there are more and more people on Twitter or otherwise that are acting like the input of the actual creator of fiction doesn't matter. For lack of a better phrase, fuck you! My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin. Fuck him!
Yeah, seriously, welcome to Micah and The Hatman, live. Okay, before we get to the absolute freaking insanity of some of the discussions that are going on the social media this week. Hatman, tell us about the new and improved Cyberpunk 2077.
So the new and improved Cyberpunk 2077 is about the same as the old and busted Cyberpunk 2077 if you were playing it on a PS5 or an Xbox Series X or S before.
Really?
It honestly, like, as far as gameplay improvements, I hadn't really noticed anything. Animation feels a little bit smoother. I don't notice any, like, improvements with the textures. Then again, maybe I just don't have the eye for it or whatever. It doesn't look any more or less pretty than before.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, some of the additions, like, oh, now if you finish all the quests for these fixers, you'll get gifts from them. You know, free shit. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit more accomplished. Since I've already 100% of the game, though, it's kind of useless at this point. But
right,
you know, when I go for my second playthrough, I'll finally be able to, you know, benefit from that. And then you have new apartments that you can get, which, oh my god, that makes things so much better. Instead of having just one apartment where your stash is and then having to move part of that shit out to your car, oh my god, being able to access that across multiple apartments is fucking amazing. I love it. That's a great damn improvement. Glad they finally did it. Aside from that, like, it doesn't really feel that much different from before. So I don't know if that's just a testament to them fixing a lot of the really janky bugs from launch, or at least the most notorious bugs at launch, or if I just had a really good experience playing it from day one on a Series X.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't had any crashes. That's good, but that's like the bare minimum, you know? Like, I don't think CD Projekt Red should be congratulated for getting the game out to a state where it doesn't crash. That's the bare minimum. That's the bar.
Right.
So really, like, I don't know. I really don't know how to react to this. It feels a lot like the same game to me. It doesn't feel fundamentally improved. Like, there's, yeah, that apartments thing, that's going to make my next playthrough way easier.
Mm-hmm.
And of course the rewards from the fixers, but really, like, that's about it. I haven't noticed anything as far as weapons balancing. They said that some stuff had been rebalanced. I haven't seen that yet. Then again, you know, I'm more or less on New Game Plus at this point. I'm just, you know, going around and one-shotting most people.
Yeah.
And the way they do skill points hasn't fundamentally changed, except for a couple. Except the one bad thing in that is they took all your skill points out, so you have to reassign them. And I don't remember how I fucking assigned them originally.
Shit.
So I'm left kind of in limbo with a bunch of skill points left over. Like, how the fuck do I do this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if I could call this the new and improved, or just finally ready for next gen, or just, man, maybe some of y'all should have been playing this a while ago. But in any case, I think at the very least, like, now it's worth playing. If you have a next gen or current gen, I guess, console, now's the time to pick it up and play it. And
Yeah.
you can get it for like stupid cheap, both physically and digitally. I think it's like half off digital, and some places I've seen it for like $20 on disc. Can't really beat that.
So, would you still... So, yeah, this is a recommendation from you then, for sure?
I mean, it was a recommend originally for me, in spite of the bugs, and I don't remember if I said, like, if they really matter to you, wait for the updates.
Mm-hmm.
If I did say that, here's the update, now play it. So, yeah.
Fair enough. All right, and okay. And just as a heads up, guys, resubs, stuff like that, we will do all the thank yous at the end. But trust me, anything like that, very much appreciated, especially considering how dire my financial situation is right now, etc., etc. So, all right. Now for my pick of the week. So this was one that I have been meaning to get done for a while now, in regards to whatchamacallit, to my stuff that's commissioned and things like that. So, the pick of the week for me is, this is a first impressions, just as a heads up. I'm not done with it. I'm only a fifth of the way done with it, with the anime. And it's called Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple. It is a martial arts anime, which, I mean, that immediately kind of got my interest. And I'm going to say this right now. This is infinitely better than Baki the Grappler. I know we got some Baki fans in the audience. This is just infinitely better. I like the fact that the protagonist... So, actually, wait. Premise is basically a skinny nerd who wants to get into karate, gets beat up at the karate club at his school. And when that happens, he goes to a dojo that is recommended to him by this cute girl that he met, who is like a super athlete. And he's like, all right, well, I'll go there. And finds out that she basically lives at this dojo run by her grandfather, who is a martial arts master. And there's several other martial arts masters there as well. One guy who's a Muay Thai expert, one guy who's karate, Kempo. They say jujitsu. Really, he's more of a judo practitioner, but tomato. When it comes to Japan, to be honest with you. One who's basically one girl who's basically a ninja. So, and she's their weapons expert. And it's basically a ragtag bunch of misfits that kind of get enamored by the lead character Kenichi's determination, and at basically say they're going to train him in the martial arts. And after that, the hijinks ensue. We'll put it that way. Basically, spoilers. He beats the guy at the karate club, not without taking his lumps, by the way. But he beats him through use of jujitsu techniques, or rather judo techniques, in a karate match, which you can't do, because technically that's grappling. So, but regardless, the fact that he won the fight gets him noticed by other people that now want to fight him to see how good he is. And it just keeps going and going and going from there. So it's basically like he has a fight, he wins the fight basically, and then it all just snowballs from there. And it's just basically his goal to continuously improve as a martial artist. And one thing I really love about him is that with Kenichi is he struggles mentally with whether or not he can actually be better. I think that makes him, in a lot of ways, sort of the anti-Goku. You know, Goku always wanted to fight. Always wanted to learn how to fight. And stuff like that. And, the big thing about it is that how do I put this? Because my brain's not wanting to work. Sorry, I'm admittedly, guys, a little frustrated today because I tried to mute the alerts in my settings and it's not working, so I don't know how the fuck I'm going to put these things on Spotify. It's actually starting to piss me off, so I'm going to have to figure that out later. But regardless, the big issue for, like, or rather, the big thing that this has going for it is the fact that he's constantly struggling with the fact that he's undersized. He's constantly struggling with the fact that he's not super muscular, etc., etc. But because of his determination and his willingness to learn, he continues to grow in skill. That, and because the girl he's very attracted to is there as well and wants him to go forward. Which, by the way, is basically shows two of the factors that help men succeed. One, crazy determination, and definitely not determinism. And second, a good woman. Dead serious. I have... You know, let me put it this way. This is to... I broke this helping somebody a woman I didn't even know. You know, could you imagine what a man will do for a woman that he cares about? Or that he loves? You know, you'll walk through fire. Trust me. So, as it goes on, at least as far as I've gotten, what I really just enjoy about it is that, it really is about a guy who is learning what, he is the kind of person that the martial arts are for, you know? The martial arts aren't necessarily for a big guy like me, right? Even though I know two of them. You know, even though I know boxing, even though I know Muay Thai, it's not, those arts are not necessarily for a guy like me, you know? They're for a smaller guy who needs to learn how to use momentum, needs to learn how to use other elements of combat to fight the much larger opponent. And, Kenichi is basically that guy, you know? And, one thing that I thought Joe Rogan said that was really interesting on one of his shows, he was talking with somebody about, it might have been Israel Adesanya, is he basically said, like, most martial artists these days are, like, nerd assassins. In fact, Israel Adesanya, the current middleweight champion of the UFC, is a perfect example. The dude's a Naruto fanboy. And he's also the deadliest striker in the world right now. You know? And he's just a skinny little New Zealander. Well, not little, he's my height, but you get my meaning. You know, he's just a skinny dude. But he could just light up people with his fists and his feet like it's nobody's business because he went through all of this stuff to get that good. And that's something that I'm really liking about this show, is it really, if there is a thematic sort of, whatchamacallit, if there's a theme to it, it is that if you want to become great at anything, size helps. Things like this. But at the end of the day, what matters most is if your heart and mind are in it. Because if your heart and mind are in it, you can do anything. You know, or at least that's how you'll reach your full potential as a person. So needless to say, so far, this isn't really a review. Again, this is only first impressions. I really dig this. I'm having a ton of fun with it. It's a show that doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's always a blast to watch, to say the least. So far I like it. I plan on finishing it, but yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. But we'll see what happens when I get to the end if I still feel that way. So yeah, that is our that is our picks of the week. And the alerts that we use now are Stream Elements. We don't use Streamlabs anymore because Streamlabs are scummy. So.
Oh no, Streamlabs is scummy.
Yeah, they tried to copyright open broadcasting software, and they're not the ones who created it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nope.
So fuck them. I obviously still have some tampering to do and things like that when it comes to this podcast looking as good as I want it to be, but it's just gonna take time. Okay, let me pull up an article here. So I saw this on my news feed. I think RGE was tweeting about it. Is that there are localizers who are pissed off that River City Girls Zero is giving people an option for a literal translation, and are claiming that their work is being disrespected. Basically meaning that when the original River City Girls was translated, there were some translations from Japanese to English that took some liberties with the characters that were not, the creators weren't, I'm guessing, were not super happy about. So what they did with this next game is that they're allowing there to be, it's like if you for some reason liked that version, well, we're going to offer a translation that is close to it, but if you want the literal translation of what they're saying, then yeah, we're going to give that as well. So, the Tales of Arise lead translator Tom Janes went on a rant on Twitter, and he said the following. The thing I want to emphasize is, practical realities aside, I don't approach game lock like I'm composing the one true translation that can exist. What you get when you buy the game, or he says, buy my game, not the game, my game, is my take on that material, but not the take. And that gives me the confidence to be creative. This is a translator. This is not a developer. This is not a writer. This is a translator. He says, in practice, many of my, he says locks, I'm guessing he means localization, exist in isolation, but not all. I don't talk about it often, but I get that with Amagami the game, my LP isn't the only translation folks can experience or will in the future. That's okay. Neither takes away the ability for the other to exist. So,
why do localizers think they should be afforded more power than they actually deserve?
Yeah, because on this, like, he continues to say, he's talking about the fact that people are saying that he's basically saying, like, companies are asking for 1-to-1. And, But what really pisses me off is he says, whatever happens after the fact is a separate conversation. As long as that work is tangible and I'm credited, that's what counts. How could a translator like me demonstrate my insight and creative autonomy is worth paying for if it has to compete with itself in its own release?
Mm-hmm.
You're a translator. You're not a writer. You're not a developer. You're a translator. If I hire, let's say that we were to get long shot, but let's say we had interest in a Japanese company, or from a Japanese company, that wanted to publish Englewood in Japan. But of course, it's going to have to be translated, right? So if we hire a translator, and that translation is not one-to-one for what I intend as the creator, you're fired. Because you're not hired to be creative.
Yeah.
If I go to Japan,
can only go so far.
Yeah, it's like it's sort of like this. Imagine if you were a politician and you're negotiating a peace agreement. If you're negotiating that peace agreement, are you really gonna want for people to be creative with anything? No, of course not, because it's going to fuck up. You want people to say literally what you meant. Because here's the thing. In this day and age, Americans are more cognizant of other nations than ever before. There doesn't really need to be a localization. There needs to be a translation, which is different.
Right.
You know, we don't need things to be localized. Not necessarily. Not like we did in the 1980s, where the world was much bigger than it is now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, really.
So when you come in and you act as if you have a right, as somebody doing localization, to make changes for the creator, you're basically stiffing the creator. And you're trying to make your own spin on that. And fuck you for that.
There are limited times when localization will be appropriate. Like regional slang.
Yeah.
Like that.
Or profanity. Profanity is actually a really good example. There's a VTuber named Girl DM who made a really good point about this. Is that profanity in Japan, or curse words, is very different in the United States. You know, in Japan, a lot of it is just an impolite way of saying the word you. And what she said is, like, you can't, like, if you're translating, you can't put in there impolite you. You know, like, that doesn't really, like, but you, like, if somebody goes, teme, like, that's saying, it's basically like saying you bastard, you know? And that's how they'll translate it. That's one thing. But that doesn't require creativity. That requires you having an understanding of the implications of the word in one language and how that implication would be understood in English. You know? Right.
It is still a translation. You're translating the idea that's being expressed.
Yeah.
Like this is not a difficult concept. When you localize things, then yes, you do have to take some creative liberties. And this is going above and beyond localization. This is effectively wanting to abridge authorial intent.
Yeah. To
impose their own, which is plagiarism. Let's call it what it is. It's plagiarism.
Yeah. This and this is something that, like, is coming from way too many people who do translation work these days. For example, wasn't it a Fire Emblem game that Treehouse?
Fire Emblem Fates.
Yeah, a Treehouse localized, and they completely destroyed what the original was saying. It was
it was bad. It was so bad that Japanese, like, that is the one Fire Emblem game that has sold more Japanese copies in the West than any other.
Yeah, like, because
people were literally wanting to learn Japanese because that localization was so fucked up.
Yeah. So I remember Play Asia just came in and said, "Hey, we'll import it."
Yep.
So that's what happened. Then there was somebody in the chat, probably Dynasty Star, mentioned Dragon Maids earlier. That's actually another really good one to bring up, even though that's anime. There were changes in the dialogue of a couple of characters to try to make them sound more feminist. Specifically Lukua, the one with the massive titties.
Yep.
And the dialogue is so out of place that, like, the character complaining about anything patriarchal didn't make a lick of fucking sense. You know?
Really?
So it goes without saying that this is a big issue when people are having this attitude. Hatman, take over for a sec.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, entitlement has gone way too far. What you're supposed to do as a translator is put out the equivalent of putting out a press release. You are meant to convey what this press release means to people who might not understand it. You don't get to make inferences. You don't get to push your own personal politics in there, God forbid. You don't get to rewrite it as something different and then call it your own work.
Yeah.
Like, no, sorry. Again, that's plagiarism. You do not get full creative control over this. You have limited creativity, and that's literally just based on what words you end up using when a translation means you might use like one or two or a handful even of different terms for this one term. It's entitlement, and it's not right. Like, sorry, you're not a creator. You're not an artist. You're a translator. You frame the work. You make it look more appealing.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, when it comes right down to it, it's like it's just one of those things where, you know, the job is defined. You know, like there should be an understanding for why, like, for what your job is as a translator, localizer, what have you. And like it does a few different things like that get me going. From a business standpoint, it betrays client trust. Because the trust of a Japanese creator to an American translator is that they are going to do what they can to make sure that an English audience can still purchase this and see it in their own language.
We'll be able to represent your ideas effectively to people who can't speak your language.
Yeah. The second issue is on a creative level, and this is the one that means a lot to me as a creator. You know, is when it comes to this particular issue, when it comes to this particular happenstance, what you're telling me as the translator is that your interpretation of my work means more than the actual work, or than what I did, and I'm the one who made it. And my response as the creator is fuck you. Like, seriously, fuck you. Like, this is absolutely fucking ridiculous. You have no right to take these liberties. You know? And going back to the business perspective, imagine for a second that I did do that. Or, like, we translated Englewood into German, or into, Swedish, or one of those other goofy languages. No offense, Lidl. You Europeans are strange people. But anyway, the chat is going absolutely insane with, like, gift subs and shit right now. But, thank you guys. I will read everybody once we're at the end of the show. The fact of the matter just is that we find ourselves in a situation where people are deciding to do this, and it's like if a bad translation of that got out, and like I had to try and get I catch shit for that as the creator, I might have to do reprints. That's gonna take more money out of everything that I'm doing, you know, and that would.
Well, and I think you raised. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
And again, from a business standpoint, it's like you're not doing the job that I asked, and at that point you're hurting me fiscally. And I think that's part of the reason why we haven't seen, like, a big botch from Nintendo Treehouse since that Fire Emblem game. Is it hurt Nintendo financially. And they don't want that to happen. So, alright, go right ahead, partner.
I think you kind of unintentionally raised a point there that not only are you hurting the original creator, you're making the original creator look incompetent too, because people are going to see this as their work, not yours. The translator does not get the same kind of credit the original writer does.
Yeah.
So by comparison, you make them look fucking incompetent.
Yeah.
But you don't take any of the heat for it.
So, needless to say, yeah, if there's any company out there and you see your translators tweeting this shit, fire them. Fire them and hire somebody who will do the job. You know, because this sort of thing.
Don't hire me. I don't speak Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. I actually need to. Thankfully, I think people have stopped asking me why I watch stuff dubbed. I was actually going to have, like, an alert that was just that clip from For Honor, where the Valkyrie just looks at the Warlord and goes, "I don't speak Japanese." It's like, what the fuck do you think I don't use subtitles? Like, are you kidding me? I don't want to imagine it's like this. Imagine watching this whole show, just looking at that notification down there that says donation, subs, raids, etc. will be thanked at the end. That's what me watching anything with subtitles is like. I need to be seeing what's on screen. So, was this clown fired? Nope, still has his job as far as last I checked. So, alright, let's move on. Short people got no reason to live. Hatman and I...
Oh, what?
Hatman and I are of the 6 foot and above club.
Yes.
So
we made it.
Yes, we can reach the top shelf. We don't need step ladders. We want, you know, we of what parts of the genetic lottery there are. We did pretty well with that one. But apparently
Micah did better than I did, but
yeah. But apparently a joke has gotten a professional Tekken player fired by her esports team.
Oof.
Where she said, "Men under 170 centimeters in height don't deserve human rights." Which sounds like a joke to me. So, what is 170 centimeters in feet? It's like, what, 5'6", 5'7"?
I have no idea. I don't speak metric.
Yeah, we speak freedom here. But
Yeah, we do.
What does the Google say?
It says 5.57742728. So we'll 5.5 feet. We'll round down.
So 5'6". So she's talking like super short stack. Because my dad is 5'6", and my dad's short, or at least short compared to me, But then again, I'm a fucking gorilla. So, and Hatman is not much shorter than I am. He's like maybe an inch and a half shorter than me. Because I'm 2.5. I'm a big guy for you.
No, I'm right at 6 feet.
Yeah. So yeah, you're 2.5 inches shorter than me. Because I'm 6'2", 6'2.5".
So yep.
So needless to say, she's jokingly saying. Now here's the full translation of what she said. This was about an Uber Eats driver being a little creepy. She said, "I was really bothered by Uber. I don't get many deliveries anymore, but when a young boy or something like that delivered a package, I went out to pick it up. And when I picked it up, he wouldn't leave and kept mumbling in front of my house. Then the doorbell rang again. When I answered it, he said, 'Excuse me, can you give me your contact information?' So he's asking for her number. I was terrified. He knows where I live, so it's tough. I don't want them to start a fire or something by acting coldly. He was short, maybe only 165 centimeters. At that point, I was like, I don't think so. If he was tall and muscular," and this is the joke part, obviously, where she's kind of like trying to clear the air, like trying to make a joke out of an uncomfortable situation. She says, "If he was tall and muscular, I might have given him my contact information." And then she kept joking about it, or at least from what I've seen. 165 centimeters is too small. And this is a Japanese woman saying this. Because I think average height in Japan is like 5'4".
Yeah, they are short.
But she said, "You don't have any human rights, so please live your life thinking I don't have human rights. You should consider bone lengthening surgery. If you're 170, you'll have human rights." I think that's funny, personally. That's a joke. Like that is not meant to be taken literally. Because she goes on to just say she doesn't like little guys. She likes bigger guys. Which, by the way, like because at this point, like when it's in its context, the fact that they fired her, because all these places wanted to cancel her for what she said. The fact that they and the fact that they succeeded makes it even worse. So hopefully she gets picked up by another team. I'm gonna be honest. At that point, you're shaming her for being attracted to who she's attracted to.
Yeah.
And for making jokes about a guy who's creeping on her. So, to who all reported on this that basically called for her to get canceled? Let's see here. Tokyo Sports, Daily, Nico Nico, ANN News, and Nikken Gendai. Fuck all of you. Who called her discriminatory. I'm going to tell you this right now. We all discriminate when it comes to people we're attracted to. We all do.
Yep.
Every
That's
single
how
one
it
of
works.
us. Yeah. The alternative is being a slut. But here's the thing. It really bothers me that you can get canceled for a joke. It really, really bothers me that you can get canceled for that. Because I look at this and I say to myself, I'm like, obviously she's not being serious. Nobody really thinks that people who are under this 5'6" should not have human rights.
It's basically a goddamn meme.
Yeah.
Like let's be real. It's not actually short people hate. And I know like that's a big thing because there are apparently a not small number of women whose dating profiles include things like swipe left if you're under 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. This is not one of those instances.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not straight hate. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
And not to mention, like, I'll be honest with you, it's very, like, compatibility is a thing.
Yes, it is.
First off, again, you got an Uber driver being a creeper. Problem number one right there. Problem number two is just the simple fact that you've got whatchamacallit. You've got basically people shaming her for saying that I'm attracted to X but not Y. You know? Like, why is that? Like, so like, from her statements, she would find me more attractive than somebody who is 5'4", you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, because basically, so if I'm walking down the street in Japan next to a guy who is like a foot shorter than me, she would pick me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she has every right to do that! You know? It's sort of like with me, I don't really like dating short people either. Like, my last girlfriend was 4'11". Didn't really work.
That makes some things very difficult.
Yes, very. Like, in a lot of ways, not just sexually, just for those mentioning. Like, it's very strange, you know.
Like your neck, having to look down like this very constantly.
Yeah. Do you have any idea how hard it is to hold a conversation like that?
Yep. Much less to lean down and kiss them too.
Yes.
I have dated some very short girls too. Yes, I know how it goes.
Yeah, it just doesn't work for me. You know, I would prefer a woman who is.
It's a literal pain.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it all. Yeah, again, also the person looks like a child next to you, especially with as big as I am. You know, so it just. Crystal Hydra, he says in the chat, if you were walking down the street in Japan, they'd be screaming Godzilla. No. They'd be going, King of Kong! Not a lizard.
No, a gorilla.
Yeah. But it just doesn't work. Like, and yet, so other people are different. I have a cousin, for those who don't know, my mother's side of my family might as well be a bunch of mutants. Of all of my grandfather's grandchildren, I am the shortest of the boys. Think about that for a second. I'm 6'2" and 2.5", something around there. I am the shortest of the boys. I have an older cousin who is like 6'8", named Josh. And he married a woman who's 5'0". But they make it work. You know? Everybody's different. So this sort of a situation for me, like, not only is she being canceled for a joke, she's being canceled not just for a joke, but a joke about who she's attracted to. That's fucked up. That's very fucked up. You know? I think people really ought to get themselves just their fucking heads checked. Leonardo Juan says, "Holy shit, man! Your cousin should be in the NBA." He was a state champion basketball player.
Naturally.
So, yeah. So not only is he tall, he's also very athletic. I always hated arm wrestling him. Not because, like, at this point in our lives, he's actually not stronger than me anymore. But at the time, we were pretty even on strength. but he has so much leverage. So, but needless to say, though, like, I'll admit I'm very bothered by this. I really am. You know? Like, people can't help who they're attracted to. That's like what I've always heard, right? People can't help who they're attracted to. You should respect that with people. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but we can't really change that. But from what you're saying, you know, so we're going to shame her for that? Fuck you. You know, and like the whole human, like it's seriously, you know what? Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Hatman, do you have anything to add on this one?
I'll say this. I'm not gonna shame short men. I'm not. But please, dear God, know when to fold them.
Yeah. And Fizz, you don't really have control over who you're attracted to from a psychological perspective on a lot of levels. Mostly because it's stuff that gets ingrained into you over time. Now, how much of it is nature, how much of it is nurture is up for debate. But largely speaking, there comes to a point in your life where the things that you find attractive in a partner are going to be pretty well set, you know, for whatever reason. So no, that's like when it comes to men and women, like there's just certain traits that, for example, I've always been a hips guy. Hips and ass. Always. I couldn't tell you why. I don't know why. Giant boobs just never did anything for me. You know? I couldn't tell you. And there's different people would say different reasons. You know, some people would say, well, maybe you grew up around a lot of women that had wide hips. Or other people would say it's an evolutionary thing. Wider hips, that means that they can have more children. Da-da-da-da-da. It's a whole lot to get into, but ultimately speaking, there's a lot of it that you can't really control. You know, it's just going to be part of who you are. So. So, yeah. No, I don't prefer the bongos. I don't prefer boobs. Never have. Never have. And on top of that, and that's not even getting into build. Some men like women with softer bodies. Some men are into hard-bodied tomboys. You know, some people are just like in the middle. Some people like their women slender. You know, some people like their women tall. Like, everybody's got different tastes. You know, and that's immensely, or at the end of the day, that's what it is. So. Alright. Hatman.
Yes.
Defend the canon.
Canon's fucking important.
Yes, we should probably give context to that statement.
Yeah. Shall I read the whole? It's 10 tweets. I think I should be able to read the tweets, and we've got time.
Yeah, we got time.
So,
go for it.
Voice of Geekdom, which is a Tolkien-based YouTube channel, put out basically building on what we did last week with Tolkien shit. Put their own thoughts out there. Said canon, in scare quotes, is a nearly useless concept when it comes to intelligently discussing Tolkien's body of work in Middle-earth. If you find yourself in an argument with someone online who maintains that a particular belief they have about the Tolkien legendarium is, in pop culture parlance, canonical, then you're probably talking to somebody who doesn't really understand Tolkien very well. Even the works that were published during J.R.R. Tolkien's own lifetime, he employed an unreliable narrator technique, which can sometimes call into question some of the facts of the stories that were told, even for the very most basic plot points, one can often argue. The Silmarillion was Christopher's attempt to publish a version of his late father's mythology of the Elder Days, and it was pieced together based on a number of different sources. Christopher used versions written before Lord of the Rings as his foundation. The Silmarillion existed in some form or another within Tolkien's mind since he was a very, very young man, but he was constantly reinventing and retconning the basic stories. This process was documented in Christopher's unique History of Middle-earth series. A few stories which were written after The Lord of the Rings were included in the published Silmarillion in order to ensure continuity with Lord of the Rings, particularly relating to Galadriel. But in general, Christopher was very conservative and cautious in his approach to this. A legendarium is a literary body of connected legends. The stories which are in the Silmarillion are a summary of Tolkien's legendarium. Other writings which are connected are the vast body of linguistic essays, the philosophical works, and the annals. As I've said, the History of Middle-earth, while not completely exhaustive, is an extensive collection which documents Tolkien's mythopic process across several decades. The works that are included are comprised of notes, drafts, and unfinished stories. What is canon in the home series? Everything is and nothing. That is not the point of the series. Arguing over the finer points of canon is like arguing over whether Matthew or Luke had the correct genealogy for Jesus. The answer is, this is a mythology. We're not going to get into that thing.
Edgy atheist alert.
The good news is, one of the real strengths of J.R.R. Tolkien's approach is the previously mentioned unreliable narrator. Where contradictions exist, he can easily blame it on the scribes of Gondor, on Pendelgoth, or on Bilbo, rather than admit to inevitable continuity errors. I think I pronounced things wrong, but sue me. Anyway, where the hell do we start with this, aside from the obvious? If canon doesn't matter, then nothing in the story does. Like, plain and simple. You want to establish the rules, the laws of a fantasy world, a brand new realm of existence. You need to maintain canon. If you don't, then things are going to fall apart. That's just how it works. I mean, straight up, the argument is defeated in its own freaking thread. Few stories were written afterwards, which were included in the Silmarillion in order to ensure continuity. Because it matters. Because it matters. If there's a contest against canon, like, okay, sure, you can chalk it up to a character giving bad information, or, you know, the legend being wrong after being passed down for so many years. But that doesn't defeat the entire purpose of canon to begin with. That's not saying that you should take creative liberties wherever possible. Because if you do that, there are too many holes in it, nothing makes any sense, and people are not going to be as invested. The world itself has to make sense, and for it to make sense, pieces have to fit together. This isn't like rocket surgery here. This is very basic levels of storytelling, basic levels of understanding the story. When someone reads your work, they are trusting that you're going to give them accurate information. And if you betray that trust, why the hell should they continue to engage with it? Matanoi says in the chat, they're literally saying fiction equals no rules. Pretty much, yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Sorry, but no, you do have to establish rules.
What he's saying,
that's how it works.
He doesn't seem to understand that his point of comparison is a false dichotomy.
Oh, absolutely.
The simple fact of the matter is that if I tell a story, and in the story, I have two people telling you the story, and each of them gives you a different interpretation of the story. That doesn't mean that me as the writer, that I don't have a concrete idea of what happened and what didn't happen. You know, that has not changed. So that's one false dichotomy. Second thing, other false dichotomy is he makes a comparison to the genealogies of Christ in Matthew and Luke, right? Yeah, because
yes.
Mark and John did not do them. He's an idiot. And here's why he's an idiot. Both of those genealogies are correct. You wanna know why? One's the mother's side, the other one's the father's side, you fucking stooge!
Yep.
But here's the thing. The fact that all of it is a false dichotomy shows how poor the argument is in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The fact of the matter is, canon, what is real within the course of that universe, what is considered real, will always be important. Because it shows the consistency of the universe. It's why a lot of people don't like retcons. Is because it fundamentally changes something that was real in the universe to no longer being real. For whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. Or even, it doesn't even have to go to retcons. Just things have to make sense. Why did people hate the Star Wars sequel trilogy so much? Because shit did not make sense. Because characters that had been established, motivations that had been established, were suddenly just written off for artistic liberty. Sorry, but that did not make a better story. In fact, it made it worse.
And that's something that just needs to be understood here. When it comes right down to it, there is I think that all of this is trying to excuse a lack of respect. That's what I'm thinking. Because if these folks had more respect for Tolkien's work, they would not be so desperate to change it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an issue, and this actually goes back to the first topic. This is an issue with a lot of people who have been schooled in critical theory.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that come from that school, and Hatman could give you the ideas of why they do this, but the commonality in a lot of people that are from that school believe that certain creative works should be changed more so to battle in the current political zeitgeist than to actually in any sort of admiration of the original story or what have you.
Absolutely.
And that is a problem.
Absolutely. It's using death of the author to not, well, I guess it is a rewrite, technically. It's using the death of the author to rewrite something that has been considered a classic, or something that is, dare I say it, part of the Western canon, a different kind of canon.
Yeah.
Critical theory in itself challenges the notion of this, like, why these stories deserve to be venerated. The stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves, or about the values that we hold dear as humans, why those are wrong and which ones deserve to supplant them. And in some ways, they know that there is, like, some gold kernel there in the core of the story, so they keep that, but then change everything else. But they're tarnishing that gold in the process. It's
frustrating, to say the least.
It is. It absolutely is.
And it is one of those things that, honestly, just, again, as a creator, as somebody who is a writer, like, there is an absolute desperation to take the word of the creator out and try to destroy it. And it disgusts me. It absolutely disgusts me. The idea that creators do not do these things with a lack of purpose. You know, with a lack of an idea of a story that's trying to be told. You know, and I personally just the disrespect, the absolute disrespect, angers me more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, this desperation tells me you're not interested in a good story. You're not interested in an interesting story. You're not interested in interesting characters. You're not interested in any of that. You're interested in politics.
You're not interested in a story. You're interested in a statement.
Yeah.
You can get a statement from any damn propaganda poster.
Yeah. You just, if you want a statement, sign up for the DNC's mailing list or the RNC's mailing list, and you've got your statements. If that's what you want, you can get them rather easily. Stop taking what creators are doing and trying to twist it to your own ends. It is disgusting, and people are tired of it. They're absolutely fucking tired of it. If people wanted a sermon, they'd go to church on Sunday. If they want politics, they've got several networks to choose from. Several. And the good thing is, what I am noticing is a lot more people are starting to tune out this sort of thing and just not engage with it. Like, we're just not going to watch it because this sounds terrible. You know? Instead, I'll just watch somebody else watch it and watch them laugh at how bad it is.
I mean, that's what we said last week. Like, don't even bother giving it attention. What's the point? If you're only going to be pissed off when you consume it, what's the point?
So it is insane to me. And by the way, it's not something that's only happened over the last 4 years. This has been going back. This goes back to even before the meme war that we've been having these struggles. And a lot of it is simply because the world has become more politicized.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in college, we straight up talked about, the changing landscape of what was the Western canon. Like, what deserved and what did not deserve to stay. Heart of Darkness specifically, that was brought up because, there's problematic depictions in there. So despite the fact that it is still like an English work that has been held in such high regard since publication, does it deserve to effectively be canceled because it's a product of its time, and those times were more racist than our times now?
Yeah.
I would argue no.
Yeah, definitely not.
Sorry.
B.S. Minter actually makes a really good point in the chat, but I'm gonna twist it a little bit. So he says, "How about we buy the right to *Handmaid's Tale*, turn it into a full-on ad campaign for libertarian, right-wing, political, or traditional Christian views?" Actually, let's say this: what happens if I make the *Handmaid's Tale* and I set it in Iran? What accusations would I be getting in the press if it got to the press?
Oh no!
I'd be canceled immediately. Islamophobe, da-da-da-da-da, like all the accusations would come out. But at the same time, it would still be fucked up because that's not what the creator intended. I think The Handmaid's Tale is trash. Don't get me wrong. I think it sucks. But
I've not seen it. I've not read it. I can't pass judgment.
But I have enough respect for the creator to not do that, or not really desire to do that. because I want that to be that same respect to be brought to me, you know. So needless to say, these people need to fuck off. Like, seriously. They need to fuck off. They need to stop with this bullshit. Nobody's interested. Just make good stories. Here's a really good example. The Eternals. Worst MCU film ever. I don't think that... It's worse than Thor: The Dark World. And a lot of the reasons it is so bad is because of the same the thing that this guy that Hatman quoted was arguing. Is they took too many liberties with the source material to try to make it fit the current political zeitgeist. It didn't make any sense. It wasn't fun to watch. The best thing about it was something that might happen later, in the simple fact that we're getting Jon Snow as the Black Knight. So, where we find ourselves is in a situation where you, in my opinion, you have two options. Quality or politics. You can't have both. You want to make a politically charged story? Try to do what Alan Moore did. Try to make a V for Vendetta. And we'll see what happens. Because if you take source material and you try to twist it too much, it can end up being bad. Another really good example, from what I've heard, the most recent Candyman movie. So yeah. Anything else to add on that, Hatman?
I think we pretty much covered it.
All right. Time to move on to Q&A. B.S. Venture says, I think you could just do both. Look at something like Metal Gear Solid. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is if you, if you want something that has a little bit of political tinge to it, like that media does exist, but it's its own thing. You know,
the politics don't trump the story itself.
Exactly.
And that's the big thing. Like a lot of people just want that straight propaganda.
Yeah.
They don't want any substance behind it.
And
that I say, look at a damn poster.
I hate to be a dick about this, guys. I'm gonna kind of have to be a dick about this. Please stop complaining about me running ads. I'm not gonna stop doing it. And the reason I can't, and I'm not going to stop doing it, is because I'm in need of money.
Yeah.
I am not in a good place financially. Like, at all. The fact of the matter is, if I don't get a job this week, I'm probably going to get evicted from my apartment. I hate to be blunt about it, but I'm in a bad way. And this doesn't help it. So I run the ads and things like that to help pay for things. If you're a subscriber, you won't see advertisement. You know? And I'm not going to make the whole thing about, like, don't you have $5? I'm not that kind of guy. But I gotta do what I gotta do to make it. Do I wish that I could get away? Because the thing is, like, Twitch is talking about possibly increasing the payout for people who run ads on an hourly basis, like, significantly. Mm-hmm. And if it goes through, then the game changes, and my life gets a whole lot better. But as of right now, I'm not in a good spot. I have to do it. I wish the world was different. I wish things had gone differently so I didn't have to do things like that. But I do. It sucks. It's not a fun situation to be in. But I gotta do it. So please stop You know, like the snarky shit of, oh, repeat what you said, the ads were playing. No. I can't. I'm not going to. So please, I'm only going to ask this one more time, because I had to do this last week too. Stop bringing it up in the chat. I don't want to have to start timing people out to get the message of, just stop. You know? You know, there's always VODs. These get rehosted on YouTube. You know? On a channel that we got a community guidelines strike on, so we can't even monetize it anymore. Which is part of the reason why we don't stream on YouTube. We got a community guidelines strike on our 100th episode because some shithead got us struck for something. So I get that it's inconvenient, but I'd appreciate if you didn't get ass mad at me for it, because I'm doing what I got to try to make ends meet. Thank you, by the way, for that $1 donation. For some reason, I'm not seeing any messages from $1 stuff. I don't know why that is. I'll have to try to fix that. But thank you. Why can I not? Yeah, $1 stuff just is not showing up today. I don't know why that is. Like, the alerts are coming up, so if you put a message with that, I'm sorry, I can't read it because it's not showing up at all. But yeah. So you guys gotta understand, like, a lot of stuff that has happened to us has not been stuff we're very happy about. You know, we're in a rough spot. So, like, please save the snark. Okay. Let's see what we're gonna start Q&A, so let's see what the Discord server's got for us. Acorn wants to know, well, he's got 2 questions here. Limited to 1. So, I'm going to limit it to 1. And then Hatman can explain what paranormal activity is. He said, what happened to paranormal activity from last year? From 2021?
Simple question, and technically I'll answer the second one because that's part of the answer to the first one. Paranormal activity is where Halloween Eve, I read spooky stories. I don't play games. I don't do anything else. I read spooky stories. And y'all listen to them. I've done it for the last 5 years, I think.
Yeah, something
4.
like that.
But I didn't do it this year for the simple fact that I got married that month. And our wedding reception was like a week before that. I was completely fried. I didn't have time to dig up enough stories. I didn't have the motivation to do it. And I was wrestling with myself for a while. They're like, should I just? But at the end of the day, I said, no, I can't do it because I don't think I would do it justice. I'm just going to take this year off, and I'll do it again next year. So I'm doing it. I'm doing it again this year, and I guess, like, if y'all have stories that you want me to read, like, I will always take suggestions for them, because I did write down a couple that I was supposed to read last year but didn't. So they're still on the list. I think Dracula's Guest was one of them too. So that'll be on the list. But yes, Paranormal Activity, it's a good time. It's not always reading creepypastas. Sometimes it is just like old school spooky stories. Like, yeah, Dracula's Guest, I read Monkey's Paw one year. And yes, I did do some creepypastas. So it is what it is. Spirit of the season.
Holy shit, 420 Gunny.
There you go. No more ads.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Problem solved, problem thing solved.
Servant wants to know. Odds of Japanese anime companies asking someone like Vic Mignogna to run dubbing for them. Using Vic as an example because he has a studio already. What I've been seeing a lot lately is more, and this is especially true of Sunrise, is they have been hiring out to recording studios and then having a casting director for the English version, which basically cuts out stuff like Funimation.
I can confirm this. This is. I know somebody who does voice acting semi-professionally. Yes, this is happening a lot more.
Yeah.
And the casting calls go out to anyone who's doing a voice work.
Yeah.
So it's not just limited to the old pros.
Yeah. Hopefully Vic's doing good. I'm always worried about him.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just talking about him the other day too.
People ever wonder why, part of the reason as to why I decided to move away from politics, it was actually because of Vic. That message he gave me in Hatman, like, it really hit right here. I really didn't feel like we were putting anything positive in the world. I didn't really feel like I was at that point. And that's sort of what I want from now on, is to start putting positive things into the world. You know? So, anyway, before I start getting more emotional than I already am, Derek wants to know, why does it seem like directors and executives always want to take Batman stuff in a more serious and semi-realistic direction in movies and shows? He says here, I like the Joker, Penguin, and Two-Face, but I want to see good portrayals of villains like Mr. Freeze and Clayface on the big screen. Is it just Warner Brothers chasing the success of The Dark Knight, or did something like Batman and Robin tank our chances of ever seeing Mr. Freeze and more sci-fi fantasy elements again? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. A lot of it has to do with the simple fact that, because he's not asking for something that's like Golden Age, trying to like, because that's what, who was it? It was Schumacher who made the ones after Tim Burton, right? Yeah. If you watch the Tim Burton movies again, you watch the Schumacher movies again, the tone is completely different.
Oh, absolutely.
The tone in the Schumacher films are like trying to chase like Golden Silver Age stuff, but still trying to be like Tim Burton, and it doesn't work. The Tim Burton films still have a pretty dark and gritty edge to them. In my opinion, the feel of the Tim Burton movies was perfected in Batman the Animated Series. But ever since the Crisis on Infinite Earths, Batman has not been the same character. And that's part of the reason why a lot of them have a dark, gothic influence. I would absolutely, though, love to see some more sci-fi stuff. I really feel like you could do it in the Nolan style. You could do Clayface like that. You could do Mr. Freeze like that. I would have loved. Yeah, I would have absolutely loved to continue to see Nolan do Batman films. Bale has said that he would play Batman again if Christopher Nolan decided to do another Batman film. This is actually something I was discussing with Optimus and the guys one night. Might have been on Bully Night. I don't remember. But is that if they had the Nolan Batman return, because we've got Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, you could have the Joker return as well. You know, like, you could still do it, and we'd still have some great fucking Batman movies. So, regardless, though, the fact it is just a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I also think that, yeah, a lot of it is just chasing Nolan. I personally love Christopher Nolan's Batman, but he'd Bale away from Batman? No, Bale's the best one. You kidding me? So now we're getting into this. Bale is the best Batman because he is better at being Bruce Wayne and better at being Batman than anybody that has perceived him simultaneously. You can argue that Michael Keaton as the Batman persona was a little closer to the comics. I could see it, don't completely agree, but I can see it. You could argue that some people were better at being Bruce Wayne, though I don't see that one. Nobody played both of them well. Nobody. So those are the facts. You can't name somebody who was better. You can't. It's impossible. Unless you start getting into the animated series. In which case, I'll give you Kevin Conroy. But that's a voice acting role. It's not the same. Because you start bringing in the animated series, yes, I will also acquiesce that the best Joker is Mark Hamill. So... okay. Melee Brawler wanted to know. Let's say the work is being translated from Japanese to English. The original Japanese work contains several elements outside the original text that would be considered highly offensive to a Western audience, such as a character with blackface, or a character who looks stereotypically Native American. Should these elements be kept? Yes.
Yes.
You should not change them, and honestly, the Western audience does not care. Because Dragon Ball, by the way, has some stuff like that. Mr. Popo, and there's a very distinct Native American character in the original Dragon Ball as well.
Yeah, and what they do to Mr. Popo for like the most recent fucking dub.
Yeah. So, no, they shouldn't remove it. Like, it's sort of like if they did a Violence Jack animated series, one that's true to the manga. Do not censor shit. I want all of it.
Yeah.
Right in my face. Is it fucked up?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Don't care. It's what the creator created. So yeah, I don't think it should ever be censored. Very anti-censorship in that way. 420 Gunny says, "Can you play this for laughs at the end of the podcast for his donation?" Oh shit, we got a fucking Brain tipped $50 and it didn't play.
Oh shit.
I'm trying to replay it. It won't let me. Yeah, we got to do a couple cringe clips, and Gunny suggested one, so absolutely. Okay. What do you guys in the chat have, by the way, question-wise? Leonardo Juan says, "Who's your favorite Superman villain?" For him, it's Warner Brothers. Yeah, they kind of are right now.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, though,
actually, can I say Brian Michael Bendis?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more accurate. Bendis really ruined him. Bendis really did ruin him. Like, he's ruined him permanently at this point. Like, I don't think there's any going back. DC has like no interest in making that character good again. In fact, I don't even think he's moving 50,000 copies every month in comic books,
which is insane for Superman.
DC can't sell anything in a comic book stand that isn't Batman. It's pathetic.
It's wild as shit.
I'm gonna say this right now. If I was writing Superman, you'd be moving 100K. I understand there's a lot of people out there who be like, Micah's bragging again. No, I'm not. I am a better writer than Brian Michael Bendis at this point of his career. Because at this point of Bendis' career, he sucks. You know? But I would be moving I would be moving copies. People would be like, this is a really good Superman. So I understand that character. You know, I understand who Clark Kent is. You know? So. And yes, Lita Lobar. I know. But, What's another good one? Holy Ninja Joe says, what is one comic book character has the most fake fans? For him, he thinks it's Wonder Woman. That's a good pick. Wonder Woman is definitely, I would say, probably has the most fake fans of that I have seen, because they can't name one good run. Who's another couple good ones though? I would say, to go with her, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, has probably the most fake fans in, like, the Marvel world. Nobody is really, like, the amount of people that actually like Carol Danvers at this point, like, and could actually tell you something about the character, slim to none. What do you think is a good one, Hatman?
Read the question one more time.
Comic book character with the most fake fans. People who say that they're fans of the character but don't know shit about them.
Probably Black Panther. Probably T'Challa.
That's another really good one. They'll say they love Black Panther. They can't tell you who Christopher Priest is.
Can't tell you who Christopher Priest is. Can't even discuss how T'Challa was, like, super nationalistic for the longest fucking time.
Oh, yeah. They know Ta-Nehisi Coates wrote him, but that's because they aren't comic book fans, they're politicos. Mm-hmm. Chat, what else you got? Psycho Ren wants to know, any thoughts on the Halo TV show? Think it'll be woke, or it'll be alright despite certain changes?
Nope, it's gonna be shit.
Hatman thinks it's gonna be shit. I'm gonna hold judgment. I think that, like, some things that are going on in it are getting a little overblown. Like, one thing that got brought up is that one of the villains is female, and in one fight she gets the upper hand on Chief. And people were blowing up about that. I'm like, so you're telling me that now standard storytelling is feminism? I need a controller. Do you know why I need a controller, Hatman?
Why do you need a controller?
I'm pressing a certain button to doubt. It's called X.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
The hero should lose every once in a while. Shut up.
So here's why I think it's going to end up being shitty. All the marketing, everything that we know about the story, the fact that they've said this is not canon to Halo, this is like an alternate universe, tells me that this is not meant for Halo fans. This is meant for fucking normies. This is meant for people who know fuck all about Halo, for them to get invested into it. When you use as we've seen many times, when you use a property that's been established, that has a massive fan base, and basically tell that fan base that they don't fucking matter, your adaptation is fucked 9 times out of 10. Like, sorry, but that's how it works. Why the fuck else would you be making it if you didn't want to draw in that already established audience? It's not even about Cortana not being blue. It's so many other elements. I mean, a human that was kidnapped by the fucking Covenant and raised by them? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
That goes against the whole fucking point of the Covenant.
Yeah, good lord.
It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. So, no, I think it's going to be shit.
Let's see what else we got here. Anime Guy wants to know, how concerned are we about Netflix with the Chronicles of Narnia rights? Because he is very concerned. So, here's the thing about anything. I'm not of the opinion that everything that gets thrown on Netflix is instantly going to be bad. I've discussed this with Xavier because if you guys remember, me and Xavier had an argument about this before Gundam Hathaway came out. And we still have arguments about it because Xavier is Xavier and he's stubborn. But there are certain warning signs that that come along when it comes to this sort of thing. Fuck. Sorry, it's so weird. Like $1 and $2 fucking donations, I'm not seeing them. It's so weird. I'm sorry, Chaos Sonic. I know you're putting messages with those, but I'm not seeing them for whatever reason. If you want to just copy and paste them into the Discord server, if there's questions or stuff like that, we'll answer them. I'm sorry about that, buddy. But when it comes to Netflix, the warning signs are usually reinterpretation, modern audience, needs to be updated for the times. Those are the main things you got to look for. If those are what's being bandied about, then I start to get worried. If they're not, don't care. So, because they've done it, because somebody asked about BioShock 2, and my answer is kind of the same there too. So yeah. What else we got? Yeah, and Leonardo Lana makes the point, is Castlevania, Arcane, and apparently the Cuphead animated series is good too. I mean, Castlevania is fantastic.
Mm.
So that's the thing. There's buy followers? Why would I want to do something? You cannot replace people. You just can't. Buy followers. What is this goof? Just, I mean, I only have this to say.
Hey, go fuck yourself. Get that guy out of here. Piece of shit.
So
the banhammer swings quickly.
Yes. So yeah, when it comes right down to it, that, like, you look out for those warning signs. If you don't see them, it might be all right. And yeah, Ninja Toe actually makes a really good point here. He says, Netflix's problem, they fund almost anything that comes to them with no filter, which means inconsistency in the output, as opposed to other platforms which have a filter resulting in, oh, and I missed it, resulting in consistency of mediocrity. Well, no, I wouldn't even say mediocrity. I think there's some good stuff that's come out of there. It just depends on how it's being put out there, because sometimes they're just the publisher. I mean, they just contracted Dave Chappelle to start producing comedy specials for them. So not every move they make is like Cuties level bad. So, but I'm not allowed to say that because something culture war. So, what else you guys got? Crystal Hydra asks, what do you guys done the worst damage? What was the worst damage that Civil War the comic did to the Marvel Universe? For me, it's the damage done to the Thunderbolts. No one remembers the fun and interesting story of the redemption of the original T-Bolts told. Instead, everyone thinks only of the Civil War version of the Suicide Squad. I don't agree with that.
It enabled one more day to happen.
Yeah, that's what I would say is the big problem.
Answer.
Yeah, it's the reason that we have one more day.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Quesada. But
yeah. Thunderbolts, good God, no! The new Thunderbolts that they're doing is gonna fuck them up permanently.
Yeah,
holy shit.
The
Thunderbolts is West Coast Avengers.
Yeah, Thunderbolts, like, I can't say that people have forgotten the original run. It's it's such a departure. But then again, that was the point. You know? They were supposed to be a big time departure from everything else because of the circumstances. So I really liked Warren Ellis's Thunderbolts. I didn't have a problem with it. So, but no, like, now what they did to Speedball was kind of fucked up. Do you remember that? What do they call him? Penance? It was like the most edgy thing ever. Like, what the fuck? I remember in the Nova comics, Nova comes back. He's like, "What the fuck happened to you, Robbie? Like, seriously?" Oh Lord.
What do I mean by Thunderbolts? Oh, you don't know?
Oh no.
Oh no.
The internet gas is returning. It's bad. We'll just put it that way. It's another really bad Marvel idea.
So I'll tell you I'll just tell you 3 people that are on the team. The first isn't terrible because he's been on Thunderbolts before. Is Hawkeye?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Then you've got Monica Rambeau. You got Photon on there.
Yeah.
Okay, isn't this supposed to be a villains team? Then you've got goddamn America Chavez.
Yeah, it's just the West Coast Avengers with a different name.
It's just a retooled West Coast Avengers.
Yeah.
Complete with Hawkeye.
It's very dumb. Okay, Chaos Sonic.
Ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Chaos Sonic gave me the things here. He says, "Sorry it took me a long time to get back to work. Was killing him and I was tired. I guess Michael will enjoy Japan if this woman says that short men don't have human rights, especially with the possibility to increase the birth rates." And then he also said, "Just testing so you can see the message." So thank you, Chaos Sonic. I'm sorry about that. It's very weird that that happened. But anyway. Let's go ahead. I think that we got all the questions from the chat. So let's get to the thank yous real quick. Starting from the most recent, we have Chelsea resubbed for 5 months in a row. She says, "Hi, Micah and Batman."
I'm Batman.
Just dropping by to say hello. I got bounced. I'll see you next time. Thank you for popping in, Chelsea.
And please don't apologize for calling me Batman. That's a compliment.
Yeah. Ninjato resubbed for 8 months. Thank you so much, dude. He's on a 2-month streak. Fortunately, got gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Brain tipped $50. Didn't leave a message. Boss gifted a sub. Brain gifted 5 more subs, and then he did 5 more. Jesus Christ, dude. Lidl cheered 100 bits. Changus resubbed for his 8 month. And 420 Gunny gifted a tier 1 sub to Torvin. BS Binger has resubbed. Says, "Hey Micah, just checking in. Don't give up, man. I know things feel like shit right now, but God's got this." Thank you, buddy. 420 Gunny tipped $5 and said, "Is it overkill to go back into Vault 101 to F up the Overseer and his goons in power armor, armed to the teeth with a minigun and special legendary guns? Also, that's really high praise. You enjoyed Kenichi more than Baki." And it is overkill, but that's not a bad thing. I did the same shit. And then, let's see here. Boss gifted a tier 1 sub to Mata. Lidl resubbed for the 7th month in a row. Servant cheered 100 bits. And no, that was from a stream from 4 days ago. So that's all of them. So now we're caught up. So thank you all so much for that. So last bit is we have Le Cringe, but the gimmick is because this could get us DMCA'd, we cannot play the audio because we've gotten in trouble. This is a Konosuba clip.
Oh.
And we have gotten in trouble for that before. So I am going to send this over to Hatman.
I've got it. Is it the clip that's in the Discord?
Yes.
Okay, I've got it.
Okay. So I will. I'll be able to hear it. But
if any of you watching the home version, playing the home game, want to tag along here, the title of the video is Konosuba: The Holy Sword Excalibur Funny Anime Moment.
Yes. You can find it in
Hell, probably.
Well, you can find it in our Discord server, which if you are a subscriber, you can join. No water left.
The Discord server is not hell.
But good to see you, TK. Okay. So.
All right. Tell me when we win.
3, 2, 1, go.
Well, what?
What the hell? Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Old girl was not impressed. Oh, man. Oh, man. So clearly old boy ain't packing heat. Oh, man.
Oh. I'm sorry. I love this comment. The worst she can say is no. The worst.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh, wow. That poor kid. Man, like you, oof. That's a big oof right there.
Oh God, oh man. Oh God, oh man.
Like, anytime the girl just, like, if her reaction is just when seeing you down there, it's a bad fucking day, dude. Pack it in.
Yeah.
Chaos Sonic says the only time Death of the Author arguably works was when Ken Pedner ruining the Archie Sonic comics after the lawsuit. I don't even know the context of that one. All right.
If you get sued and you want to tank a property, I mean.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the need of tanking your comic book property, remember, call Bendis!
Exactly.
Good lord.
Call Bendis or call Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Oh, man. Alright.
We have any more cringe that we owe?
We actually owe more. We owe one from last week. On top of one more from this week, but we haven't gotten any submissions. So,
well, shit. Should we just pull some shit up from the VTuber channel?
Let's give the chat that's in the Discord server. We'll give them a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I am hoping to finish Kenichi this week, but so far I am really liking it. Trying to think if there's anything else going on. I do want to apologize for not streaming that much this week. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, having a broken bone legitimately does drain your energy. Like, it really does. Like, you have less energy than you usually would because your body is committing so many resources to try to fix the busted limb. And like in a break like this, because when I got the x-rays, it showed that the bone was snapped in half. So take your ring finger. So this is my undamaged ring finger. The break is right here, right around the edge of the fingernail, and that bone is just in two.
Oof.
So my finger basically has to regrow bone, which takes time and energy. which isn't like the fracture I had in my wrist years ago. I just had a hairline, you know. The problem is that I had a hairline in several bones in my wrist instead of just one. But it makes you very tired. So, Gunny's got another video for us. It looks like, is this an original? It's a song. So, I don't know if I can.
Oh, it's Happy Harry.
Yeah. So, does that mean it's safe to put, or is it not safe to put on screen?
I think it should be okay, because he's an OG fucking Newgrounds creator, so.
Okay, well, we should be fine then. So Nicolas Cage apparently wants cake.
Alright. Tell me when.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, where's that chocolate cake? Hey, where's that chocolate cake? Hey, where's that chocolate cake? Hey, where's that chocolate cake?
Do you mean this chocolate cake?
That's my piece.
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want
that cake?
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want
that cake?
That means something completely different in today's lingo, I'm sure.
Yes. Especially considering the girl is very stacked in both areas.
Yes.
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want this cake?
Ta-da!
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want this cake?
Ta-da!
Oh, wow. Okay. The Christian thing was great. Oh, wow. Okay, that got me.
Suddenly Christian.
Oh, wow.
That's fucking weird. Like I've seen a lot of fucking Happy Harry shit, but I don't remember that one at all. What the hell? Saturday Morning Watchmen. For everyone who is very cultured.
Also, apparently one of my comments on another video got like 829 likes. That's really weird. So, for those of you who are wrestling fans, there's a clip of Brock Lesnar tossing a dude off of the Elimination Chamber, off of one of the pods. And I put in there, "Hi, I'm Austin Theory, and welcome to Jackass." Oh, man. So. It's from 12 years ago? Jeez.
Yeah, like this. When I say OG Newgrounds, like, I mean it.
You know what's actually...
That was certainly on Newgrounds back in the day.
You know what's really funny? I'm going to send you a video. Melee Brower's got one more for us. I'm going to send you a video. I want you to look at the upload date on this.
Okay.
You're going to be shocked. Because it's a series I think we both watched. You've seen Paranoia Agent, right?
I think so.
Let's see, I know that you and I both have indulged in some Satoshi Kon in our time. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, Martyr and Tofu have not seen Perfect Blue.
They're about to get real cultured, aren't they?
Yeah, when Tofu gets back, we are definitely doing a watch-along of that. Like, because Tofu's getting married this week, so if you haven't said congratulations to Tofu, I don't think he's watching. He's probably watching Martyr's stream, but let him know if you see him. But look at the upload date of what I just sent you.
2003. 5?
It actually predates YouTube's purchase by Google. It's an anime intro.
So this is like one of the first fucking uploads to YouTube. God
and
damn.
it hasn't been DMCA'd.
Wow.
I am shocked by that.
And they're in the fucking comments. Fun fact: this is probably the first anime opening uploaded on YouTube. Jesus Christ.
It's possible. It's very possible. I mean, like, it's outlasted AMV hell. What does that tell you?
Shit. Well, there's also a Dr. Slump opening that was uploaded apparently the same day by a different fucking person.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Modern Nui says, I haven't either, or do I want to? Dude, Perfect Blue is an amazing film.
Watch it. I'm serious. Don't spoil it for yourself. Do not.
Yeah.
Absolutely do not. Go into it as blind as possible, but watch it. It's fucking awesome.
It's amazing. There's a reason Satoshi Kon is so well loved.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next one is the last one. This is a
movie's fucked up though. Like I'll just say that in case you need the trigger warning, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. So if you don't deal well with mind fucks, don't.
Yeah. It's a psychological horror.
Yes.
Okay. Final one for today. MAGA Ranger versus Deca Ranger movie, Girls in Trouble, question mark.
Question mark?
Can't play the audio because every time we've ever played Sentai we get in trouble. So
yeah.
Let's have a look-see. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, what?
Definitely Super Sentai.
Yeah. Did they just become baby metal?
I know, right?
Oh, this is SPD. Oh, God.
It's nice to be oh no! Stop! No!
I'm screen capping that
No!
one. I'm screen capping that one.
No! What the
I was screen capping that one.
What the fuck?
Okay, it's Sentai. It's not even a wait. Hold on. What? It's fucking Sentai.
What the fuck? Yeah, Japan, really? Y'all gonna have a Japan? What? What the fuck? Why you do this? What the hell? Why is the most racist thing I've seen today from a Japanese person? Like, what the? Why? I have no words. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh my God! The last thing anybody from the Orient should be saying is it's good to be yellow. I'm sorry, just no. What the fuck? Really, man? What?
That's funny. That's funny as shit.
Oh my God! What? Oh my God!
Yeah, I'm fucking screen capping that. I'm posting that shit on Twitter and be like, Japan, are you serious?
What the actual fuck? I just can't after that. I can't. No.
They do say Japan is incredibly racist, so
That was just like, ugh. Man, oh man,
That was funny.
oh,
That was funny. I didn't pick up on that until you fucking said something. That's the best part.
oh man, that's insane. All right, you got me with the cringe this week. Holy shit. We're caught up though. Done. No more. Unless somebody gives more money, but I don't think it's gonna happen because we're about to end the stream anyway. We've been going almost 2 hours, so it is time to call it an end for the week. Hatman and I had business stuff to discuss. So let's go ahead and pick a raid target. Is Martyr still going?
Martyr-
Nope, she's done.
Damn it.
So, suggestions, chat. Abigail's going?
I don't know who Abigail is.
She is a Christian VTuber. I am thinking about doing that for her because she is a sweetheart.
Do it.
Yep. So we're gonna raid Abigail. She's a sweetheart. And she of course is a Christian streamer as well. Remember, be nice and be wholesome over there. She is a lot more restrictive on language and things like no degeneracy or I will kill you. So just so you know. So, our raid message is very simple. Japan broke the Gorilla Man. So, let us prepare to raid. And we will see you guys next time.